What if I told you the biggest signal in the Iraqi dinar space right now isn't a headline, it's the silence? This is Ali Raza, and today I need you to lean in, block out the noise, and really listen. Because what's happening right now isn't loud, it isn't dramatic, and it definitely isn't coming from weekend RV, countdown channels. It's structural. And if you understand structure, you understand timing. I know many of you have been watching Iraqi Dinar for years. Some of you feel hopeful. Some of you are worn out. And some of you are simply trying to filter facts from fantasy. That's completely understandable. The space is crowded with opinions, predictions, and emotional reactions. But beneath all of that, something more subtle has shifted this week. Let's start with what matters most: the quiet from the Central Bank of Iraq. There haven't been detailed reform updates. There haven't been fresh explanations about exchange rate strategy. And naturally, that silence has divided people into two groups. One side believes silence means nothing is happening. The other believes silence signals confidential preparation. Here's the reality in monetary policy: both interpretations are possible. When central banks across the world prepare for sensitive adjustments, especially anything involving exchange rates, they do not broadcast it in advance. They can't. If a revaluation or significant policy shift were pre-announced, it would create speculation waves, distort markets, and potentially trigger capital instability. So what happens instead? Internal coordination, regulatory alignment, technical preparation, legal groundwork, quiet briefings, then action once everything is locked in. That's how conspiracy theory. That's how institutional finance works. But let's stay balanced. Silence can also mean there is no immediate change under review. It can mean the focus is elsewhere. It can mean stability is the priority. And that's the difficult part. From the outside, we don't have confirmation either way. Now let's talk about what is confirmed. The governor of the central bank, Ali Al-Alak, recently made a direct public statement. He said, there is currently no plan to modify the dinar's exchange rate. He also emphasized that Iraq's foreign currency reserves remain strong and sufficient to maintain stability. That statement is clear. It's present tense policy. But present tense policy is not permanent policy. When a central bank says there are no current intentions, it reflects the economic and political conditions of that specific moment. 6 months from now, if conditions evolve, if political leadership solidifies, if fiscal reforms advance, if external pressures shift, policy can evolve too. The monetary strategy adapts to environment. It always has. Here's something else many people misunderstand: stability and appreciation are not the same thing. Strong reserves allow a country to defend its currency and maintain a peg. That's stability. But appreciation, an increase in value, requires broader alignment. You need political clarity. You need policy direction. You need economic fundamentals working together. Reserves are a foundation, not a trigger. And that brings us to politics. Iraq remains in a period of political delay following elections. A fully empowered executive structure has not been finalized. In parliamentary systems, without confirmed leadership, major economic reforms slow down. Budget stall. Agreements wait. Strategic initiatives pause. That's normal institutional behavior. However, constitutional deadlines have been strained. Political blocs are applying pressure. There have been discussions about enforcement mechanisms if formation delays continue. And when political pressure intensifies, timelines can suddenly compress. What looks frozen can actually be building tension beneath the surface. So let's connect the dots clearly. You have a quiet central bank. You have an official statement of no immediate rate adjustment. You have political stagnation, but rising pressure to resolve it. You have constitutional timelines being tested. That combination doesn't scream overnight change. It signals a holding phase under compression. Systems under compression don't stay that way forever. They either stabilize fully or transition into movement once a catalyst appears. In this case, that catalyst would likely be full government formation. Once leadership is confirmed, policy direction becomes clearer. Reform frameworks can restart. Economic planning becomes actionable again. But understand this carefully change in monetary systems is rarely a single explosive event. It's a staged process. Quiet preparation, political alignment, administrative coordination, then execution. Most people want a dramatic reveal, a guaranteed moment. But that's not how currency management works. By the time the public sees final implementation, most of the real work has already been done behind closed doors. So what does this mean for you? It means discipline over emotion. It means tracking official releases, not social media countdowns. It means watching government formation progress, not rumor cycles. It means understanding that preparation takes time and serious investors respect process. Right now, we are not in chaos. We are in transition. Slow, pressured, institutional transition. The Central Bank of Iraq remains publicly committed to stability. The governor's statement reflects present policy. Political institutions are under increasing urgency to finalize leadership. And once structural clarity returns, broader economic initiatives can accelerate. That doesn't guarantee appreciation. It doesn't promise a sudden rate shift. But it does indicate that the system is not static, it is navigating pressure. If you've held through years of uncertainty, you already understand patience. What separates disciplined participants from reactive ones is composure. Preparation always outperforms speculation. You can't control political negotiations. You can't accelerate central bank decisions. You can't manufacture timelines. But you can stay informed. You can stay grounded. And when official movement happens, if and when it happens, you'll recognize it clearly instead of chasing it emotionally. This has always been a long game. Structural shifts in national monetary systems don't unfold with fireworks. They unfold with alignment. I'm Ali Raza, and my commitment to you is simple clarity over hype, structure over speculation, facts over fantasy. Stay steady, stay patient, stay informed. And I'll see you in the next one.